What's up, dudes and lady dudes? Guys, my name's John. Welcome back to Just Nuts. We're doing another top 10 video. We're in between news. We're in between deck profiles that I'm working on and stuff. Trying to update actually Lair and Ninjas and some other new deck profiles on the side as well. So while those are in progress, I want to make a video like this because I love thinking about this stuff because we see that the OCG has a lot of things that we don't have. They have what a lot of people here would call better ban lists, more cards quicker, so on and so forth, better packs, better sets, stuff like that, better products in general. But that's not what this video is about. This video is specifically about cards that the OCG has that we do not. Not referring to ban lists, not referring to cards we know are coming out that we have guaranteed, because those are pretty much in the TCG. It's just a matter of time. And I guess these are a matter of time too, but we still don't have them confirmed. And this is specific to kind of 2019. These are 10 cards that the OCG has that I really, really want in 2019. They gotta come out. Like, to me, they gotta come out in 2019, or I'm gonna be a little bit upset if every single one of these does not come out by the end of 2019. Hopefully in the first half. Hopefully some of these are still in, like, yet to be announced for, like, Savage Strike. Hopefully some of these could be in Dual Power. Hopefully some of these could be in Dark Neostorm. Whatever. Wherever they end up, I really want all 10 of these to come out in 2019 because these are just cards I'm really excited for. They're for decks that can't really play without them, making some archetypes relevant again. And also keep in mind, guys, that the way that the system works is that a lot of cards come out just early, and they come out in this, like in the OCG, and then we just get them in the same set. For us, our sets just take a little bit, or just come a little bit after the OCGs. So it kind of turns. The only way this works is really like, the only cards that could even be on this list are mostly Link monsters from like Link Vrains Pack 2 or 1 and 2. So keep that in mind. There's a lot of Link monsters on here. In fact, they're all Link monsters except for one, but still, I really want these to come out. And yeah, I don't want to talk. I don't want to spend any more time rambling. Let's just jump right into it right here, guys. Number 10, we have Code Talker. I feel like this card, and when I put this here, I'm putting this here with the other guys, and I should have put the other guys in the picture here, but those another ones, Code Radiator, I think is his name, and the other ones, those other small monsters that help you like use as link material from the hand, those cards are really, really cool, and this guy makes everything so much better because like they have like that Solemn Judgment card that only works if you have a Code Talker on the field. This is a Code Talker. It's a Link 2, so it's way easier to make than like Decode or Transcode or any of the other Code Talkers because they're all Link 3s. And yeah, I think this card could be really helpful in finally making Cybers a good archetype. I mean, we know we have Salamandrates. That's a Cybers archetype, but it's not Cybers as an archetype. So I'd really love to see Cybers finally get some support and kind of finally become even a rogue deck. They don't have to be great. I just want to see them be a rogue deck. All right, then we move to number 9. We've got Brotherhood of the Firefist Eagle. This card is pretty cool. I mean, Firefist still has a lot of problems, but this card at least helps them with like the resource game a ton. In this day in the game, you need a deck that can resource. Duels, especially in our current meta, we have duels that kind of can go a little longer because there's a lot of like grindier matches going on, and this card's really nice for that archetype. The archetype still has its flaws. Yes, there's no real disruptions in the entire archetype, but he does help you kind of extend and make, you know, decent bodied boards. Yeah, and I'm just pretty excited for him. I love his design. I think he's really cool. Pretty basic here. Then we have this guy. This guy's really interesting. So he's actually generic, I believe. So here, let me look him up just to whoa, what am I doing? What is hello? All right, so let's bring this up real quick. Let me look him up just so I'm 100% positive here. Double Bite Dragon. Let's make sure I have the effect right on this guy because he is generic and I haven't looked at him a ton. But yeah, he has an up and down arrow. He's 1500 attack. He takes any 2 Link monsters. So this is like a decent target to use for like if you're using a deck that already uses a Link 1 or maybe you play a deck that uses Scapegoat and you end up using like Link Spider and Link Karibo. Maybe you use Grinder Golem in a pretty specific deck. I mean, I use Grinder Golem because it actually has synergy with Lair of Darkness a little bit. But this card's pretty cool. Close that. But anyway, he takes 2 Link monsters, and when he just gains attack equal to the total Link rating of the monsters used for his Link summon times 300. So if you just use 2 Link ones to make him, he gains 600, and he's a 2100 beat stick. Also, on top of that, he has pretty good protection. He's unaffected by other monsters' effects, except Link monsters, and he can't be destroyed by battle except with a Link monster. So, if you're playing against a deck like Altergeist, or you're playing against a deck like True Draco, decks that just don't really use Links that often, other than can't remember the name of the one that Altergeist used, but I can't remember. But anyway, he could be really tough to out if they don't have spell and trap removal, monster removal via spells and traps, because he's unaffected by monsters, can't be killed by monsters. So really interesting card. I just think it's a cool little generic card that for certain extra decks people would be really into, especially if they play like Scapegoat. So hello Trickstars. Oh no, there's so many messages here. Anyway, next up we have Saiframe Lambda. This card's really cool. Another kind of generic card. You can make it with any 2 effect monsters, I want to say. I know it's generic. That may not be exactly what its materials are, but I know it's generic. It's 1700, so it's not even that small for being that generic. And he pretty much lets you use your Saiframe hand traps from hand, even if you control a monster. So you can use him as part of your combo just to set up a board if you're going first. Because if you go first, you lose the value of your Saiframe monsters in your hand as hand traps. But we all know they're always those hand traps that have like almost the highest ceiling in the game, but they're only good going second, because once you have a monster on board, they don't do anything. They can't be activated. But this card, as long as you play a somewhat spammy kind of deck, you get him on board first as just part of your play, open up zones, make some stuff under him, and then they're live in the hand as just straight up negates and extenders. If your opponent tries to do anything on your turn, negate and continue. So if your opponent tries to hand trap you going first, if you had this on the field, you can gamma that, and not only do that, but get gamma and your driver straight from the deck. So this card's really cool, and I think it makes your Saiframe cards much more usable. So really cool. Then we have the Strix, Raid Raptor Rise Strix. I'll be honest, I don't give a hot dookie about Raid Raptors, but this card is really nice in Blackwings. I think overall Blackwings will be better than Raid Raptor will be when this card comes out. Just summoning Zephyros the Elite straight from the deck, using him as material, and then bringing him back all like for free pretty much, is really good. And this is just a huge like piece of like just a combo piece for Blackwings when it does come out, and I cannot wait, because there's like this really cool build with Phantom Knights and Raid Raptor rank up cards in this card, and it's really cool. I cannot wait for it, because it's not just a spam the board an OTK going second kind of deck. It can go first and set up some Phantom Swords, or not swords, yeah, sword. No, there's Phantom Knight's sword, and there's the other one. The good one that negates a monster effect that can't be destroyed by battle, or yada yada. But anyway, so you can play going first. You have monster negates going first. You can still OTK going second. You have a big monster that can't be destroyed. And I love Blackwings, and this card is really nice for Blackwings, and I'm just excited for that. So that. Then we have Cherubini. So yes, I want Cherubini. I know some people are on the fence because they think Cherubini makes level 3 monster / spam decks better than they should be. But I really like this card. I think this card is really cool for Burning Abyss. I think this is just a model of like a card that's like, I don't think it's overly broken. I think the only overly broken part is that it is so generic. Any 2 level 3s can make it. But other than that, I think this card is like so good. I just think this card is like untouchably good. So yeah, Cherubini. I love it. I think it's a good mold, other than the fact that it's generic. If it wasn't quite as generic, it'd be higher on my list because I want to use it. I love this card. I think this card's great. Then we have Vendread or Revendread Savior, I believe is this card's name. This guy's really cool. I'm actually not a zombie player at all. I don't play zombies. I never really have, but I do have a couple of pretty close friends that do play zombies, and I am excited for this because I know he doesn't just play zombies. His favorite deck is like vampires, bro. Or at least right now, his #1 deck is like vampires. I know they struggle, but this card is like pretty nice. I mean, it's not the best card, but at least going second. I believe this card says like if it battles an opponent's monster, you can send any zombie from deck to grave to lower your opponent's attack times 200 times the level of like the zombie. So you could literally just like mill Mizuki straight from the deck and lower your opponent's monster 600 or 800, and then this guy's beating over 2,300 monsters. So it does help him beat over, helping you in the battle phase a little bit. It still opens up 2 zones, and it just mills Mizuki. You could mill Necro World Banshee, the girl that Quick Effect can play like Zombie World, which is really nice. There's just so many good targets. You could just straight up send what's his face. If you already have Zombie World, you could just send what's his name? Ballardrock. There you go. Ballardrock, the new boss monster. You'd have the field spell, and he would summon himself back on the next turn. And yeah, I just think this card is a nice little piece for them, and I'm excited for that because I like Mike, and I want him to have more stuff for zombies. I want zombies to be better. Here. Now a very personal card for me because I have been very much so on the Magical Musketeer train as of late. I love the artwork for the deck. I like the way the deck plays. I like control-based decks, and this card is so good. It's so good and it's so not. It's like if your opponent has Ash Blossom, then like you're kind of screwed going second. Like you might just straight up lose going second if your opponent has Ash. Or Veiler slash what is it called? Impermanence. But still, this card helps the deck. One of the deck's biggest struggles was going second. This card is huge for that. This card is so good, just getting you so much advantage going second. You could break any board with the cards you search with this. You could, or you could just special summon a ton of monsters that your opponent just may not be able to deal with, no matter how much back row they had. So, really cool card. I love the Link 1s. I think Link 1s are so good for the slower decks. That's what they have to do. If you're not going to make new support that makes a deck that's too reliant on normal summon to get better, then you got to give them a Link 1, and that's what they did here, and I'm really pumped about it. I love this. Alright, for the only card that is not a Link monster on this list, I have Subterra Guru, another control deck that I'm really excited to play, but here's the thing. In the TCG, because we don't have Guru, Subterras are straight up Garbo. And in the TCG, Subterras are like straight up like a tier 2 / like rogue deck, like right there on the verge of being like top 5, if not like 4th or 5th in their meta. So literally, and the problem is like the deck is literally like Guru spam. You just like Guru control. He is the centerpiece of your entire deck, and we don't have it, and we need him. I'm so excited to play this deck once he comes out. The artwork is so cool for the deck, and he's really cool. I love his design. I'm just really excited to play Subterras, and I can't until this guy comes out. A built-in hand trap that negates anything. Busted. Really excited for this card. There. And then the #1 spot on our list is Trap Tricks Sarah. This one, for the most part, is like, again, I'm a control player. This is another deck I'm really excited to play. I'm going to have some trouble balancing the deck because I don't want a deck that just plays like 12 trap holes because obviously there are flaws there. So I'm going to have trouble formulating the deck and balancing the deck with like different traps and stuff, but this card helps so much. This is exactly what I was saying before with like Magical Musketeers. For these archetypes that are super normal summon reliant, if you want to give them support and you're not going to give them like monsters that help, spam the field a little faster, you got to give them a Link 1. You just have to. You can't give them a Link 2 because it takes 2 turns to get 2 monsters on the board, and it's Yu-Gi-Oh! 2019. That's not going to fly. So it's a Link 1. It's so good. It has 2 really solid effects. I wish it was a little bigger, but I guess I can't complain. It's a Link 1. Like, you can't just make a Link 1, like, huge. But I wish it was, like, 13, 14 even. Because I want to play Scapegoat in the deck. Like, just summon 2 Mrs. Radiance. And even with 2 Mrs. Radiance, she only becomes 18. But if she was started 14, then we're looking at 24, and now we're looking kind of clean. But still, I love this card. It's really good. It's going to make Trap Tricks a playable deck. I don't want to say they're going to be rogue status per se, but who knows? Maybe we'll see somebody. I'm sure we'll see some regional stuff, at least a little bit when this card comes out. And I'm just really excited for it. I love her design of this. But guys, that's the top 10 cards I want in 2019. To me, like, all right, there are some cards that I'll be okay without, but like Traptrix Sarah, Subterra Guru, Magical Musketeer Max. If Cherubini's not there, like, it doesn't hurt me specifically. Yeah, so those three. I mean, the rest, like, I still would be like, oh, we didn't get that? That stinks. But these three, if we don't get these in 2018, I'm going to be so bummed. I'd be so bummed, guys. But let me know. Let me know what your top three. If you want to give me your top three cards, like just either Linked Frames pack cards or just cards in general that, like, for some reason the TCG has that we do not, and we don't even have it announced at all. Like, that's the thing. None of these are even announced. Not that we don't have them yet. Just not even announced. So let me know your top three cards that you don't have announced yet, that you, like, have to have in 2018. Like, you cannot wait. Like, you're literally, like, shaking just thinking about it, because that's what these three cards are for me. So yeah, put that down below, guys. If you enjoyed this video and you want to see more top 10 videos in the future, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Y'all have a great rest of your night, day, morning, evening. Yikes.